Perhaps those of you who are watching this video are people who have difficulty trusting others. Even those closest to you are difficult to trust. When we are not together, we always have a high level of suspicion for each other. Don't trust the work team to do everything, so we must all do it, and other forms of mistrust. If you're feeling this way, you're probably going through a trust crisis. This may be considered normal by some people. However, if left unchecked, this trust crisis will severely disrupt our mental health. Consider how difficult it is for us to trust others. We will always be suspicious everywhere. People who are constantly suspicious and have difficulty trusting others will find it difficult to socialize with others. Consider the possibility that if our husband or wife is no longer with us, we will be haunted by shadows that make us sick and tired of ourselves, when, in fact, nothing occurred. Imagine if we didn't have faith in our work team. Then, instead of him being preoccupied, we are the ones who are concerned. But if it happens too frequently, it can have a negative impact on our mental health. Despite the fact that communication and mutual trust are essential components of any relationship, why is it so difficult to trust others? Because what we see, experience, or learn throughout our lives has a significant impact on our confidence today. It is more commonly known as social learning theory. The following are some factors that can undermine self-confidence and lead to a confidence crisis. The first is betrayal, capable of resurrecting all past wounds. The second, dishonesty or betrayal of trust, can be more damaging to a relationship than infidelity itself. Third, trust or trust can be destroyed by the partner's indifference to criticism, excessive humiliation, and rejection, either overtly or covertly. Apart from distrust, doubt, and suspicion. The fourth is always heavily influenced by the voice within us. The fifth is a thought process that has been harmed since childhood, so that we never trust others, whether innate in our family or social environment. What is the repercussion if you look back in time? Crisis of trust is an issue that is experienced by many of us. Each person's level of crisis of trust is different, so the resulting impact is different. Many of us are dealing with a crisis of trust. Because each person's level of trust crisis differs, so does the resulting impact. For example, there are people who find it difficult to commit, and there are people who are always people pleasers. So they are willing to go to any length to keep the trust that has been given to them, not to be ignored by others, and so on. If this trend continues, it may have an impact on mental health, with some of the disorders listed below. The first has a proclivity for overthinking. Anyone who has this belief crisis has a tendency to overthink things. This will be reinforced by our distrust of the other person, so we will constantly think about him. Of course, there will be many questions about this person, such as whether or not this person can be trusted. Or does he simply want to take advantage of us? Or perhaps he's sincere? And the countless thoughts we generate in our minds. These are the kinds of questions that instill fear in us, making it difficult for us to interact with new people. Excessive thinking can be unsettling, and if it continues, the second life feels lonely. People who have trust issues will always feel extremely lonely. Despite the fact that he is surrounded by many people, he will still feel alone and lonely. This can happen because they are hesitant to open up to others and are afraid to discuss their problems. So they end up harboring the problem themselves, believing they can solve it without telling stories or asking others for help. This is what gives people the impression that they are alone and that no one can help them with their problems. As a result, they end up harboring the problem themselves, convinced that they can solve it without telling stories or seeking assistance from others. This is what makes people believe they are alone and that no one can assist them with their problems. The third is the rift in the relationship between each other. If we do not easily trust others, even those close to us, these people will believe that their presence is not valued. Finally, there is a schism in their relationship, so it is important to remember that a relationship exists because it is founded on a strong sense of trust and communication. If there is no trust in each other, a relationship will experience estrangement over time. The people who know us will slowly leave us now. How to solve this trust issue? The first, try to communicate. Start communicating like people in general, people who experience trust issues. of course, can still communicate. It's just that it is done by giving a little barrier to other people. But try to take it easy and don't think that the person will act maliciously. The second one is honest and open. Tell us your complaints while facing the thrust issue with the closest people first. Because then slowly we will get support who will listen and give advice on what we complain about. Tell the truth, not just to test trust. The third person comes to believe. Keep in mind that everyone has the potential to disappoint and disappoint others, as well as us, so don't be surprised or afraid if you put your trust in someone. You can avoid being disappointed. Throw out the idea that people will disappoint, betray, or hurt us. Don't let those thoughts control us until we're old. Fourth, we must forgive ourselves and others. Humans are frequently difficult to extract from less reassuring situations and conditions because one of them has not been able to forgive himself. To feel at peace, try to forgive yourself and those who have been involved. Number 5, don't overdo it. There is no need to force yourself to trust someone. Take it slowly because the process will take time. The most important thing is to increase your confidence in yourself, because our ability to believe in others is affected by our ability to believe in ourselves. Finally, trusting each other is difficult, but it will be more difficult if we do not. Hopefully, this will be useful.